Hello, we're going to take a look at the digestive system, starting off with this goldfish right here. The goldfish enters the mouth where chewing occurs. Chewing is a form of mechanical digestion, which essentially breaks down your food into smaller pieces, and as it breaks down, it is easier to digest and increases the surface area on which enzymes and acids can attack the food, basically. Also, in your mouth, salivary glands are attached, which secrete salivary amylase, an enzyme that breaks down the amylose or the starch in your food, but nothing else. After digestion in the mouth, the food enters the pharynx as bolus, which is basically a small ball of food, much more easy to digest, and that moves down the esophagus. So what the epiglottis does is, instead of your food going down your lungs or down your trachea, the epiglottis is a muscular flap that covers up the trachea and allows the food to go down the right passageway. So now the goldfish is in the esophagus. It moves down by a motion known as peristalsis, which is a wave-like contraction of the muscles lining the esophagus that pushes down the food slowly and steadily. The goldfish then enters the stomach via the cardiac orifice, or the cardiac sphincter, which is a muscular band surrounding the top entrance of your stomach that can close it off, preventing the acids from your stomach to exit or to go back up your passageway and cause something we like to know as heartburn. Now that we're in your stomach, the food is churned and churned and churned until it produces chyme later on. But this churning is another form of mechanical digestion, which helps to break it down through the muscular movements in your stomach. At the same time, there is chemical digestion? Yeah. Chemical digestion occurring by the acids pumped into the stomach. So in the muscles lining your stomach, you have ATP-powered hydrogen ion pumps, which pump in hydrogen ions, creating an acidic environment, and that joins acids such as hydrochloric acid to help break down the food even further. And on a side note, H. pylori can cause ulcers in your stomach. So now we are done with the stomach, and the food has become chyme. It moves down the pyloric sphincter, which is another one of those tubes, into the duodenum. So a lot occurs here in the duodenum. First of all, the liver, which also detoxifies your blood, produces bile, which is stored in the gallbladder and helps to emulsify or break down tiny droplets of fat. So this bile enters your duodenum, joins the food, the chyme, and helps to emulsify the fat. The pancreas, which is also joined to the duodenum, secretes bicarbonate into the duodenum. One second. Bicarbonate helps neutralize the acids that are coming down from your stomach into the duodenum, in case it escapes through the pyloric sphincter. The pancreas also secretes pancreatic juice, which contains pretty much everything needed to break down food and any other kind of material that can come down into your duodenum. It contains proteases, nucleases, lipases, and amylases. As we went over before, amylases break down starch. The other ones break down the respective monomers and polymers. Proteases break down protein, nucleases break down nucleic acids, lipases break down fatty acids, etc. And finally, in the duodenum, more emulsification occurs, mostly thanks to the bile, and fiber can help make the movement of food a lot easier. Now this goldfish enters the jejunum and ileum. Both are parts of the small intestine. So the duodenum is just the beginning of the small intestine. These are major parts of the small intestine and contribute to the absorption of amino acids, monosaccharides, and nucleotides through the walls and the villi of the small intestine. So the small intestine contains a lot of these villi, which line more villi, which line folds, which line more folds, which line the walls of the small intestine. So the reason for all these folds and all these villi is so that it increases the surface area for maximum absorption. including absorption of vitamin K, I think. Next, this goldfish, now super mushy and squishy and full of water, moves to the large intestine. Large intestine is basically this long, large tube that's a microbiome, or microbiome of its own that contains several bacteria, including E. coli, and helps to absorb water and can occur in constipation if you don't have enough water. Finally, the goldfish gets stored in the rectum, and later is pooped out of the anus. And that is all. Thank you.